Yo, 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 yo. Sorry if I'm too loud. I'm kind of holding my microphone. But anyways, just wanted to do a quick update on live, on what I see on the charts, all that good stuff. So, first of all, most you kind of seen we're working on that course. It's going great. I love the thing. What else? Nasdaq and everything been doing what expected. The analysis from the last video I made, it worked. It played out perfectly, and I kind of want to peep that for a second. Hopefully, y'all can hear my computer sound when I go there. Let's see real quick.
So I might try to take some partials here soon, but I want to see price get up there.
So this was
I'm not even worried about telling this.
June 1st. It's the June 18th. So this is from a while ago. This did play out though. How we needed it to, at least.
Diamond sales because I just see price gonna close higher. Okay, it's trying to.
So we're gonna go right back to where that was, June 1st, New York session. Hopefully it shows when it plays out. It hit my SL on TradingView, but not TradeC, which is what I was trading, the platform I trade on. So I was looking at the lows. You see that SL never hit. And this was uncropped too, so
Before 8:30, which was
I let everyone kind of just see how it played out. Me holding it the whole time. I think I aimed for these highs right here. It reversed off of those highs, and then came back to my entry. Then actually hit my overall TP. So, anyways, that was an eval account. We ended up passing that account since this last video that I made June 1st. So that was Nasdaq too, right? Yep, Nasdaq. Or was it? I'm looking at New York saying Nasdaq. Yep, NQ. And I always use just a Forex chart to actually mark things up. Let's go to the 1 hour, June 1st. I probably deleted everything from there, but June 1st is somewhere right in here. Pretty sure that's what I was trading right here. 7 a.m. So that's when you see I got that entry down here, bro. Look how that played out. We got the buy around here, this price level. If we look back here, right? This is the 5-minute chart, so it's gonna look a little different. If I can go back to how it looked on TradingView, right? It played down into this area. We seen that. That's the same green line right there. The order block didn't pass these lows. Or I guess this is it right here. And took off. So you can see right there, that's the 8 a.m. candle. So this is 8 to 9. This is 9 to 10. All the way to about 1 p.m. It shot up right there. So that's all it took, just that one day trade. So that was the end result of that trade. If you look at the last video, it's a pretty long, hefty one. Since then, right, we passed we passed Lucid, and we reached some highs here around Wednesday the 3rd. So Wednesday the market decided to reverse. We can see that because we look here, we have this last few up candles right here. The sellers didn't close below that, and then up here we have this last few green candlesticks moving up. And then we decide to close below. So that's a change in standard direction, something like that. It's a freaking change in state of delivery. I always forget what the S means. But yes, state of delivery right there. Even though it didn't break below this low, it broke all those lows out of the highs made. Came back, probably closed some imbalances there. All these wicks, price gonna closing higher, shot down, right? And then we just marked things off from there. What used to be a high became what or yeah, whatever became high started to become the resistance over here. So this was, or I guess this was a resistance. No. Yeah, resistance. This is still resistance over here. Support, resistance, same shit. If I spread out this line right here, it's same thing right there. I stopped it there probably because I found a 30-minute FVG that lined up perfectly with that equilibrium. Anywho, right, we're a few weeks away. There's this imbalance right here where the price didn't mark up or just left the gap. I marked up these highs. Price played off of that. That obviously meant something back then. Once price closed below and like that hard sell right through it, I was like, okay, it's no longer playing against that. It had a little bit more reaction afterwards, but now it just doesn't exist with it no more, right? Even this last reaction here, you can see it kind of got right to the top where it still couldn't close above, wicked above, shot all the way down hard within the last 2-3 hours right there. I said Tuesday the 9th, New York came up to that gap. Price wouldn't fill. Shot off hard. From there, we're looking at how SpaceX affected the market. So this white line right here, that's exactly when SpaceX went public. So NASDAQ, it consolidated a bit since then because it dropped on a Friday. A few hours left of the week before market closed. Then there was this another new week opening gap. Every time there's a new week opening gap, it's an imbalance, and I'm gonna just call it a simple thing. Excuse me. That's what it's gonna look like every time I talk about a new week opening gap. NWOG, NWOG, however, that's what it's gonna look like. You can say price came back, filled it in, reacted off of it, now shooting back up. Same thing that happened on SpaceX. We look at SpaceX. SpaceX kind of did the same exact. No. Kind of. Nope. They went below it. And each day, every day it's gapping because it's a stock, right? So every day it's going to close. Closed here, closed here, closed here. That's what leaves the gap. NASDAQ is going to stay open throughout the week. Even if it's 9 p.m., 1 a.m., NASDAQ is going to show. Only time it doesn't show is on the weekends. That's why price has this gap. So this gap right here just imbalanced that price feels like it needs to fill because it missed all that pricing, all those orders didn't get executed as it went up here. So now it feels like it needs to get that liquidity up in there. The imbalance, fill the imbalance. A little bit different than liquidity in a sense, terminology. So now it's playing off of that. Now that it filled that, we were in the Discord. Discord is not open in one of my tabs. We're just talking about NASDAQ last week. Not even last week, this week. Or no, maybe last week. Nope. I mean both weeks, but specifically I said that NAS might come for that new week opening gap before all-time highs, right? And that's what I was looking for. We were selling it from wherever it was before that gap. Before it filled the gap. So we tried to sell this here. We sold it to the gap. Or maybe somewhere here. It's at the 8th, right? The 15th. So we was a little early. We sold around here. Price came up. We looked to the left. It got these wicks over here. I'm going to just draw the box so you can see these wicks. How that played out. Right, so just tapped into that little bit of liquidity there. Got that stop loss of somebody's order. Didn't break for a new high. It didn't close any higher. Didn't even wick up there. Came down, closed this gap up here. Even still have a little bit of that price range right there. Right, tapped back into that gap that didn't want to close before. That price keep reacting from this level even before this gap. Price reacting. This level is like still valid. Why is it still valid? Because it's from such higher time frame. We started on the hourly, so that's why it kind of not really a top-down analysis. But we can see the price is still reacting from that level. I'm gonna leave it over here though. Reacted off of that. Now, since we know that it's within like the change in state of delivery, know that it's buying up. We can see it go for these highs here. We can see it go for these highs. There, or even all-time new highs, right? It could go higher than prices ever printed before. And right now, this is the highest point that price is printed, which is about 30,800. But it's not there currently. So that's what that's looking like at for New York, or for Nasdaq. We got it in value gap here. We can see price wants to come up as it did now. Maybe come back, retest this level, then come up. That could be the entry. Looking for a retest off of this imbalance there. We could scale in, look at the 15-minute, see if there's something on the 15 or the 5-minute we can maybe scale in at. Not crazy amount of liquidity in between this gap and where it's at now. It very much could come all the way down to this gap again, maybe react to the top of it. There's even this order block right there, that small order block that it could react to. So it has some levels it could try to play off of before it fully just takes off. But right now, that's what we're looking at, right? And it's just better to get a retest rather than current price going up, right? You don't want to just buy the trend, getting a better entry point. So I will try to look for a few buys right now for NASDAQ currently, but for the week following, right? If we're looking at the week following, not just the next price movement, I think we're still pretty bullish. Excuse me, I just sneezed hard as heck. Okay. So we got the RSI, we got the oscillators. We're still looking kind of bullish, right? I did have some key levels marked up. We could mark up 30,000 as a key level. So even on the higher time frame, we can still see these are pretty good, valid areas for price to get to as high as liquidity. I even like how it looks right here from the daily, right? Tap there. The next day, it even worked 50%, that equilibrium of the new week opening gap. So that's strong. That's a strong buy sit from there. We do have this imbalance here. I'm not going to mark that up yet just because I like this new week opening gap a little bit better than that. And we'll see from there, right? I don't have that many things on my watch list. Oh. I wish I knew how to put it perfectly back to where it was. You have UJ, you got Bitcoin, XRP, NASDAQ, gold, silver, the dollar. Oil, GA, GJ, GU, futures gold, and SpaceX, just because I like to see how SpaceX is moving since it got so much hype and everyone worried about the hype of SpaceX. All right, so that wasn't the best top-down analysis of NASDAQ, but that's what we see from there. I'll just see new highs. Let's see what happens when it reaches new highs. Find some retests to buy up. It already got this new week opening gap. Let's see what it does from there. That's about as key as it gets. We'll start a little bit higher time frame. We'll actually do a real top down. You want to start from the higher time frame, then go out. So right now, I could delete a lot of things. I could delete all this. Oh, too quick. All this stuff in there. Don't need all that little stuff. Just kind of the major stuff. The reason I'm keeping these blue lines and the yellow lines is like what I see on the daily chart. So that's like a higher time frame. The blue lines are just key levels, right? So I could delete most of them, but you'll just see one is at 5,000. The next one's at 4,750, 4,500, 4,250, 4,000. So it's kind of just major key levels. And if we're looking at how price reacts, and like price really does react off of these. And you can even go in between them, right? So do like the midpoint between these two, see how it's reacting off all of that. If it only goes halfway, want to come back up for the next one or what, but it mostly plays in between these levels. We can see right now, price only got to about here, which it says is about 4,070. That might be accurate. We'll see here. So yeah, that's about where price closed anyway. So I'm hoping, what I'm looking for, let's see if I can do this real quick. So I drew up the fib from this high to this low, and we see that negative 27.27 has been reached. But if I redo it and draw my fib from this high, including the wick, to this low, including the wick, it looks like our negative 27 extension is around 3,700. I'm hoping price can get there, but realistically, just thinking about gold being that low, it's crazy. The last time gold was that low was September of last year. So why I'm looking for buys is because gold was in this crazy buy trend, and that we see that, I mean, it kind of went off the charts here a bit. So we go about maybe here to here. 800 days, it went up 3,814 points, right? So that's 300,000. No. Am I looking at it right? No. 38,000 pips, right? So that'd be about 3,800 points, right? But I mean, that took over a year, right? But that was the cycle of it, right? That was like a huge buy cycle. The bulls went crazy. You literally could have just bought any point, hold for a few days, and literally be in profit. 2025 was crazy. We're looking at 2025 to 2026. That was a crazy period. We're going to do another marker from beginning of 2025. I just marked up Christmas, day off. And this is the second. So it's about here. We see price literally just kind of bought up the entire time. So it even had a distribution, and then had a little bit of a consolidation again, which is accumulation, and then just I don't know where the manipulation is, but it just disputed again, came back down, disputed more. So that was a crazy gold rush, and it's gold has not really bought up since then. So what we're looking at now, we got this fib. We want to see gold reach this area, which I'm thinking this might be like, I'm gonna mark up these two red candlesticks here. This is not a real way to mark it up, but this is the area that I want to see it get to. Hopefully. If not, we have to see how it plays. Why I still think it could sell? Because it's not had a change in the state of delivery yet, right? It's going down. Price should have bought up a little bit better than here. Right, it closed below that new week opening gap. Here's the gap here where price didn't play out before then. Just delete this fib. We got the only level I'm really looking at. I already reached the other level that we could buy from. This would be like the very impulsive buy, but price will probably come back down for 4,000. Price will probably come back down 4,000. We see it closing below 4,250, or at least it's trying to today. If it does, I think we need to look for 4K again. We have this this gap here. Price played off of that perfectly. Oh, I didn't mark it up perfectly. I'm gonna make everything yellow because it's on the daily. You see price kind of played off of that gap right there perfectly, and already had another gap within that area. So it all lined up. This was just I guess this was that news week, but we look at Wednesday the 10th on Forex Factor. I bet something happened to make it go all the way down here. All right, so we're looking at gold playing across is crazy. It wicked the top of that little imbalance there. That was damn near pitch perfect. And then it wicked the bottom of it and still respecting it. So we may see the next time it come through either another retest or it's going to break through, come for this level here. Which we got two red candlesticks. I kind of just marked them both to see if we can see anything on the weekly. I did not put on a fit for y'all today. I just got out the gym. I hopped straight onto the charts because I want to get this done and over with. I don't see much. It was this one, right? Each one of these is a fair value gap. It's a weekly gap. Why I marked up that one? This one has already kind of been tapped into. this one just the next closest one, right? If we expect to get here, here, the farther away it is, the more less likely it is to hit, right? Like I really don't expect price to come all the way down here. If it does though, beautiful. Please drop as low as much as you can, because gold is just gonna be one of those that's obviously going to keep going up and up and up forever as prices get crazy, right? I don't think it's going to be balancing out. We do have to look at the dollar, see how the dollar's moving. I want to do that on the daily again. So we do have this weekly level. Let's see how that looks on the daily. All right, so a little bit higher up to that second candlestick there. It's still about as kind of right. It ends right below 3,000 or 3,800. So from there, let's see price drop some more. I'm not getting in any sales because I'm technically wanting to buy again. I'm waiting for the buys. Right, we're waiting for price to drop, which price is dropping as hard as it can, as quick as it can. So if this was the damn retest just right here more than anything else, damn, we're golden. Don't worry about none of that. The indicators, I don't teach indicators, so don't even worry about those. It's just like a moving average. Seeing when things are overbought, oversold. That's about the best you can get from those. 4 hour. I'll mark up that gap in a second. There's another gap I think I want to pay attention to. Maybe this one. Yeah, weekly imbalance. That's still pretty high up. I don't know what that is. Strike that across. Alright, so there's that, another week imbalance. This is a new week opening gap. Just this week. I opened up higher than it closed. And then it closed, right? It wicked the bottom, came back up. Now it's starting to close. So it closes new week opening gap. It still kind of will affect price, but probably a little bit more. If it closes below fully, hasn't yet. The candle now forming is about to close below. If it closed below it fully, it probably react more of a resistance. So we can see something like this. Right, maybe it'll play around, come down, retest it, and then go for one of our levels, especially maybe these wicks right here. So we can expect to see more of that if it closes below this new week opening gap. So far, it has closed it. Like, that's for sure. It definitely closed it. That's good. That means that it got all this liquidity. It can keep going up. Maybe it's going for more liquidity. Maybe right now, it wants to get these lows, all these wicks here, before it keep going. It's definitely feeling some way about this doji candlestick right here, though. Especially with this imbalance. I have a lot going on in this area right here. So oh, this is a 4 hour. We can keep this yellow just because the new week opening gap, which means every single time frame you're gonna see this gap, don't matter what. So I just keep on the higher time frame. It's not like we're gonna go to the smaller time frame and it's gone. See how this imbalance is a little bit different? That's why I mark up those color coordinated, because if I just have this regular box, I'm gonna be out on a different time frame and be like, what the heck was I marking up here? Even this liquidity is a little bit off. So skip the 2 hour, 1 hour. We can see this kind of gap filled in there. We could mark it up to this lower one, and there's the order block at the bottom of the FVG. We'll see how that one will play. Make it blue for gold, or blue for an hour. 2 hour. This is 1 hour. I don't like that. Let's do that as the 1 hour. So it has so much between 4,250 and 4,000 that it could play off of that I want to react to. So we can see it kind of reacted off that liquidity there. So we could definitely expect it to get here. It's definitely trying to. It already closed below on the 1 hour. Let's make this pitch perfect. Technically open up here, I guess. So that's there. We could definitely expect it to drop here. Now maybe not the best time just because what we're about to be in the Asian market. If I wanted to scale in, I'll look at something like this. That's a 4.1 just because of those wicks right there. That's something we could look for. I might leave that there. I'm not going to enter there, but we're just going to do a little bit of price prediction. See how that works out, right? 30-minute. It leaves some gaps up here. I don't know if I want to mark up the order block or the gap. Let's do the order block. We shouldn't expect price to get past this order block. So final TP could be about here, right? You could even scale and make your entry about here, but I'm gonna keep it there. See how it plays out. Maybe like here. 15. I must have skipped to 30. And just keep selling. I don't expect it to buy off nothing crazy because we already got the most major news for the first week of the month out. Second week of the month. Friday, there's not much. Monday, we got some CAD news, Canadian. Tuesday next week, flash services. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy on Wednesday. The 25th, GDP price, core price indexes, 730. A lot though, a lot to come with it though. So this will all drop at once. Even though there's some high volatility, there's a lot of low ones. That will create some crazy volatility at 730. So Thursday should be fun next week. A lot of news drop on that just at that moment. We'll see how price get manipulated from there. Let's look at the rest of the month. How much? Monday, Tuesday, and then boom, July, and 2 Wednesdays from now. Right, and then we start in the first week where it's every first week of every month. They drop certain news each week. Unemployment rates, PPI, CPI, FOMC, and yeah, so that's that. I say Thursday of next week is the only day we really gotta look out for news. So that's not for a while. So this it should continue its trend or go for some type of retest, right? We're not gonna see it shoot off yet from this level, even though we know the buy is loading up. We want to see if we can get a crazy. It's crazy how I'm recording this right now. We want to see if we can get a crazy buy somewhere from around here. That's what we want to see. This is what we want to see. Where's Thursday? I'm gonna go for next Thursday. That's what we want to see. Be prepared for next Thursday, man. Go shoot off. It's gonna go crazy. We could see all-time new highs on gold. Uh, 17,000 pips just to meet the next all-time high. People are saying 6,000. People are saying 7,000. If we can get this entry from down here. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. Let's make it a rectangle just to make it realistic of the time frame, right? So if it took this long to get this high, and then we copy, I could just drag it, but let's copy, clone, and maybe do it from here. It should be another all-time high, about the same level that it played off of. Let's see what that like. So this was about 94 days, 3 months. That'd be one position that it went up 16,000 pips. So if we can catch a buy from here, it's gonna be the same markup about this level. Reach all-time highs. About 17,000 pips, right? Which is just one index over for contracts and points, which would be about 1,700 pips or 1,700 points, 17,000 pips. from there. So yes, that's what we want to see. That's we got to look from an outer time frame, right? Oh wait. Why I did that? Because I want to see the time frame it would take. So obviously we're not going to expect to go here, right? We got to expect it kind of be dragged out a bit. About 90 days, right? So that's about now till September. We can expect it to get here and then keep going after September, October. We can expect it to keep going. So for the next 90 days, or holding this trade for 90 days, but from now until whenever that happens, we got to find an entry point. We're only looking for entry points. That's why if this is the buy, if this is our long, that's why I'm not too interested in looking for this small sell position that we had here. You can barely see it from the daily time frame or even the 4-hour time frame. But this buy right there, that's going to go crazy. That's going to go crazy. We're going to have to hold it for about 90 days, but that's going to be a lot better than this little small trade. See, that's the difference. You can either take this small trade here and keep scaling in each day in and out, or find a trade that you can hold for the next 3 months straight and go crazy from there. Just go on about your life, do your business, and let the money just come in rolling in faster than any stock you can invest in right now. That's what we want to see. We already know that price reacted off of this level once. This didn't even come from a liquidity standpoint of that. This is a whole weekly imbalance. Gold, we scaled all the way into about the 15-minute. We can see the selling off, but we want to see a buy from this level. We want to see it reacts from this level. And these squares are just to help measure. I could have dragged this one over, but I wanted y'all to see where that comparison was at. That's a cycle. It's going to do the same thing. So a cycle like this, right? A cycle looks like, where's the drawing one? I never used a pin. You just draw. Cycles like this, right? Or just keep going around and around and around. But if we're on a chart, right, price cannot go backwards. It can't go this way. So how it does that chart, that it looks like, how it does this cycle, is going to look like this. Go up, then down, up, then down, up, then down, up, then down. That's going to be the cycle of gold. So that's how it's going to look. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down, sometimes it go up. And it keeps going. Through the recessions, through the expansions, all that. So consolidations, everything, all included. So we're looking for price to get back there. Already reacted off of this level. Grab that liquidity, close lower. Let's see one more low. Let's see if we can get down to this area. Hopefully below 4K. Hopefully to 3,080. But anything within here, if it's saying, hey, a huge change in the state of delivery from a higher time frame, this is where we need to start entering, is around this area. And literally get a good entry. Don't be too worried about stop loss. You'll be able to manage that trade, right? Like if you're catching 17,000 pips, you don't need a freaking 15 lot. Like you'll be fine with the 0.5, 0.05, 0.03. Like just be able to manage it, because if it keeps breaking lower, lower than this, right? Ultimately 3,699 should be the lowest that you would have to worry about. It should not drop any lower than that. Honestly, the point I'm looking for is 3,730, because that's one of my position trading mentors see it as. So I'm gonna mark that up right now. Try to get it exact. We don't have to get it exact, right? We can just do this. Change the coordinates from the setting. Just make it white, so it stands out a bit. That should be about, that's exactly where I marked up to these lows right there. Perfect. So that's what we're looking for. If you can find an entry where you can hold it to about this level, then you're good, right? You don't have to expect it here, but if you can only manage, if you enter somewhere around here, you can only manage the SL to here, it may not be your best SL. You may have to look to take profits earlier than way up here. All right, so we want to be able to manage to where if price gets to this level, we can still have our entry. And it may wick hard, but not close lower than this position right here. I want to see what's going on over here. Price definitely wicked off of this level. We got it. Ooh, look at that. Look at the candlesticks it's forming around here. A doji imbalance. All these wicks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wicks. An imbalance here where price skipped. Got this double top. We got this CRT play right here. Price wicked below but closed inside of this candlestick and took off. So we have a lot. That's like 5 different things here. The gap here. Sometimes you got to see with your naked eye, but the gap here. I meant to delete that. The gap there. The doji candlestick here. The liquidity left behind. And this is all in the higher time frame. Order block. CRT. So turtle soup. Right there. So that was about 5-6 things that week for reasons why we could see price wanting to get to this level, which it was so bullish. We're looking at this white line. There's not too many white lines on my chart. It's only one. We're looking right there. Price has gotten nowhere near it and left it so much. It's so much from where price is now to price here that if we can get here somehow within the next 2 weeks, even sooner than that, golden. It may already be ready to take off. It may already be ready to go for all-time highs right now. So we have to see where we really get our entry point in. It may be something that's happening now versus something that happened around last year in September. So we really got to watch how it's playing off these imbalances, everything doing here. We have to see it basically break through everything here to get to this level. But if it does, oh my gosh, y'all have to understand how much liquidity was grabbed for it to just buy off again. And it's all timed. It's all within a cycle. Let's see silver real quick. Like, I don't really mess with silver, but silver still had some lows it could get to. See this. Let's draw a fib on this mug. From high here, we'll do this low. It still can get a little bit lower. It still can get a little bit lower for that negative 0.27 area, which consolidated a bit. So I'm marking up that consolidation. But right there, you can see price kind of consolidated there a bit where it didn't move. You can see silver getting here before it buys off. If price gets here, then we can look back at gold and be okay, has it grabbed enough liquidity? The more recent one, I don't know if I want to mark up this, mark up that. But yes, from that huge sell-off right there, that's about the negative 27 extension. I could try to go a little bit perfect, but oh, look, I try to go a little bit perfect, almost equilibrium of this consolidation zone. So it's still not pitch perfect. Like, there's still a gap how I marked this up. But as y'all see, like, price is all calculated. It's all algorithm. It's all rigged. It's all fake. So I'll just try to mark this up as best as I can from the actual high. Not like here, right? From the actual high to the low, that looked perfect. Maybe I didn't mark up the consolidation perfect, but that's almost equilibrium right there. Right, so about that equilibrium zone. We're going to keep that there. See how price plays off of it. Maybe even set alert, right? So I'm going to right click, add alert. This name is something. This name is something. Let's do silver. Equilibrium. I hope that's how you spell it. Equilibrium. Cool, so we'll see it start to reach there. At least it's not like equilibrium, but it just like when I see that message pop up from a week from now, 2 weeks, a month, I'm gonna know exactly what I meant by it, to know to look at it. Because if I'm looking at gold, I'm not gonna know when that actually hits. So boom, y'all got a scalp position. with a pretty good entry, and y'all got a positioning trade on gold. We did NASDAQ, we did gold. Last one I'm looking at is GA. Yes, my boy is selling, which is crazy because it barely missed this level that I wanted to enter at, and I'm waiting for it to get here to also go for new time highs. But I think GJ been doing some crazy buys. GJ been buying the fuck off. Excuse my language. GJ been buying the heck off, so it probably just retrace and get some liquidity before it continue buying off. With GA, I'm looking for it to get about either this level or this level before it buys off, and that's what this zigzag level is about. Go to a higher time frame. That goes. I was wondering what that was. I thought maybe I deleted it. Which all these blue lines is just key levels. I could probably delete some, but yeah, I did it from body to body. We can see we want to see at least get somewhere here before it goes for that negative 27 extension. This is actually do this. It's a little bit harder to see the lines within the lines, but you can see the numbers. 0.5 here, which is where it's currently at. 0.618 is right within that weekly BPR, so balanced price range. I'm on the daily, so it's not as clear. And we're hoping that from A to B to C, it can go up or reach this high. So that's what we're looking for here. That is another position trade, which it could take a while, right? So, because if this is we somehow got in here, and we're looking to go from there, that took 925 days, right? Even here, 352 days. So this is taking almost a year of a cycle. That's why I'm so patient on this entry, and didn't enter when it got so close. I could have entered here, but all right, we're ready to go. No, because then I seen it here. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you gotta keep selling, bro. You gotta come back. You gotta come back, or I gotta let you go. You know what I'm saying? Cannot chase price from up here. I want to see it get here, because just buying anywhere from here just leaves too much open. From all you can see, I got a lot marked up for why price should be at least getting to this area. Look how many different lines and boxes that is. If you're not going to come for any of that, then I guess you can go without me. It's GA, right? We're not talking about gold still. Like, GA is going to come for that liquidity. Gold, it might leave it on the table for a year or two. That's the difference right there. GA is coming back. So yeah, I did my analysis on GA, what I wanted from it from another video. Hopefully I can link that. If not, daily order block. We got key level 1.85. We got a 4-hour block. We got a weekly here. You can see the Fibonacci lined up, key level lined up. Everything's lining up for it to get about here. Just the cycle of it. You can see it's in a cycle. We go back to the daily. Look how it's moving. Remember how I said how the cycle moves, right? Think about the circle again. The circle in a straight line. Think about a circle that can only move left, right? Look how it's moving. That's what we're expecting right now. So I got all these key levels marked up. You can see how it's playing between each key level pretty well. So that's what I see on there. I'm not going to go through the full analysis on there, but we're going to leave that there on the table. Dollar. Should have looked at the dollar. Dollar. I have so much marked up. I have years of the dollar being marked up, even from 1990. So this trend line's there. This trend line's there. Back when I kept the same chart from the beginning, marking up the dollar. So I used to do trend lines, even 2 different trend lines to see how it would play out. But with all those trend lines, right, it's starting to consolidate between there. In the 1990s, there's a huge key level here. So it's hitting key levels from the 1990s. Starting to reject it from the weekly. And it's buying up. So got this monthly order block. Trump got shot that day. That's a password. I'm glad that was blocked. Some more levels. I guess I gotta look at gold, see how we're doing here. So a bit less trendy. It's making higher highs though, higher lows from the weekly. So I left some liquidity down on the table. I don't see it closing lower. Maybe it closed a little bit lower on the weekly, but we can still see again here. Unless it got to break all of these highs and kind of close a lot higher to start really trending. Because right now it's still within this consolidation. You know what I'm saying? If I was to block this out and say I'm not getting entry from here, price is still stuck in this area. So we're not looking to get any entry or really play off of that. We'll just see the direction of it. It got to either break through out of that consolidation zone or get some more liquidity below it. Because it can have some areas where it's reacting from. We got this level, this level. Trend line, I've seen that it needs to pass to be called bullish. So forth. So yeah, a lot marked up there. It's scaling a little bit. I don't want to look at it too much just because it's consolidating. Like, we're not going to analyze consolidation. So, yeah. It's within the same price range for since April. It's starting to trend since technically January 27th. It's trending a little bit better since April, since May. It's starting to actually have a better, healthier trend. Rather than consolidation. We got this gap here. I'm not too worried about marking it up. We got consolidation above, consolidation below this gap. But there's a fair value gap right there. So that's how the dollar is marking up. Dollar index. So yeah, we're just gonna see what it does after all this consolidation. You guys see it break out of that consolidation, see how it wants to trend. Bitcoin. We're at 47 minutes. It hit my levels I wanted to see it get to start buying up. I think I said about 63. I want to see it get to before really trending, but there's so much that it actually moves off of. I don't know if it'll trend yet. XRP was in this monthly fair value range, monthly fair value gap. And then there's another range that I got stuck in, and it's finally breaking below that range. So I want to see if this is a turtle soup on a higher time frame. Almost. No. Cool. So not really. XRP be doing some things on the higher time frame. Like, I caught 6 racks off of some CRT from up here, so that's why I was looking for more CRT. We can see CRT here, bearish one, another bearish, and that's where it kind of had its little bearish movements. Hasn't been this price since November 2024, or I guess February of this year, but it's getting somewhere. It's getting somewhere. We can kind of expect it to play into this fair value gap. Of anything, since it's within this monthly fair value gap or FVG too. So we look at the monthly chart as this huge price range right there that is starting to play off of. So that's what we gotta look at, the monthly time frame of XRP, right? Ripple order block down there. Let's see how it gets. If it gets to freaking 61 cents. I would say that's a pretty sweet area to buy in. I think if you got $100, it's at 61 cents. That's pretty easy flip for even 100. You don't need like thousands, right? Like, that's a pretty good flip. It can move pretty quickly. All right, so that's why I like XRP much better than Bitcoin. And if you're with my broker, yes, you can trade XRP, or you could just buy it on an exchange, and that'd be a pretty good range to buy from, to hold. So, or you could trade it. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it plays out on the higher time frame. I'm looking from a very higher time frame. So, let's see on the daily. It's kind of bottoming out. It's still kind of sellish though, you know, like it's not a change in the state of delivery until it had a strong bullish momentum past this, right? because this is like the last kind of sell off, and then when it tried to buy up, right, it hasn't really bought past this point where it was like a bunch of sell candles. So till it really buys up past $1.34, it's kind of still bearish. I would definitely say bearish, especially since it's even rejecting this consolidation zone. So we'll see. We did have some kind of breakouts on the top, and now we're starting to sell off and use that consolidation area as resistance to keep going lower. Boom, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 charts. We're not gonna look at oil. Oil's been doing its thing. It's been crazy manipulated. It's getting cheaper, at least on the charts. not at the gas stations yet. UJ going crazy. UJ's been beautiful. Oh my gosh, imagine that. Look at that. Look how I marked this up and how price barely could close below it and just been buying up from there. Jeez. This needs to be the title of everything. Just liquidity and imbalances, though. That's all you can see right there. Just, I think I was with one of my students, or a couple of my students, and we were just marking up gaps and stuff from here on the smaller time frame. So that's what all that is. But yeah, y'all, that's the gist of it. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Let me know what y'all think on these charts, and leave let's think about it. Leave 100 emoji, or just say 100 or SDF in the comments if you made it through this far, just as a checkpoint. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and good trading this year. Let's get it.